Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and truly, I'm excited to get started once again. I look forward to discovering who may tune in, who may join today in this adventure of me. The Talcottian Express, man, it's rolling. Here, where'd that go? The Talcottian Express, we are rolling here. We're getting through things. We're growing. We're coming together. We're joining together. Things are happening, and things are happening quickly in this world, in this time that we're living. You could call it a quickening. It's here. Brothers and sisters, today is here, and I'm truly excited and grateful for all of you who are tuning in, who are finding your way here. I'm going to drop the link here soon, but I got a lot of ideas. Again, the topic today, finding a heart for learning. And this was an idea I was considering the other night when I was kind of just laying in bed, and it just clicked in my mind again, and so I thought I'd share it. The Holy Spirit, that which we seek, is already there. The Holy Spirit is the eternal knowing. It's within, and what is with us in form is our ego, our identity, who we think we are. You know, as a man, as a woman, as an American, a Christian, all of these things, all these identities, they limit our experience in different ways. So the ego in this context is edging God out. I think that's kind of a fun way to see it, and it is. So what I've been finding for myself, it's simple and it's obvious. Once you see it, once it clicks within you, once you see the mind and the patterns in your mind, you can, through your will, overcome the limitations. Because in the mind, there's no limitations except those that are imagined or unknown. So overcome the limitations of your mind with a will for your heart to grow. With that goal in mind, you can surrender your battles, you can make space for the Holy Spirit to take over and to lead you into the spirit of understanding, to grow with the spirit of understanding. Because what I found in my life is my opinions don't matter. All that matters is what is true. So do not battle that which is true. You'll have more time in your day. That's what I found for myself. And when you find that time is what you are, you start to care about the time in your day. You start to pay attention to how you are spending your time in the day. And before I started these, there was some offering from the chat. Dr. D had, in psychology, the ego refers to the part of your personality that allows you to act, think, feel, and will, essentially representing your sense of self and your ability to interact with the external world, balancing your primal urges with social expectations. It's considered the realistic part of your mind that makes decisions and plans based on reality. I'd love to have conversations if you're willing. You know what? It's early, but it's the day, and I'm going to do things as I do them with the intention of improving the live stream. Okay, but truly, Dr. D Head or others who want to discuss this topic, we'll just open it up. And for those who wish to join, the link has been pinned. I see in this context, the part of you that allows you to act, think, feel, and will. We have within us, there's a loving awareness, just the loving awareness, the awareness without judgment, without intention, without desire. It's aware. And then beyond that, we have the activity of our mind and the thoughts and the feelings, and then all of the external world. Well, what I found is the ego, and this is confirmed through many, many different perspectives, whether it's philosophy or spiritual. It all comes back to the idea of selfish or selfless. Do you care more about others, or do you care more about you? That's the question in life. The ego, the identity of you, it's there to protect you, certainly. But if you allow the ego to take over, you'll create battles and problems and all sorts of things for the ego to solve, because it's got to have a purpose. And the purpose of an ego is to protect it from. Where do I get those crazy topics from, Jack? Thank you for the question. Where do all ideas come from? Where does any idea come from? Where does that idea go? Where does anything come from? It comes from God. By the grace of God, thoughts and ideas happen. By the grace of God, all things happen. And thoughts are things. So it's up to you, up to me. What are we going to allow to control us? What moves me? What moves you? These are the questions, right? These are the questions that have been asked for eternity, right? As long as mankind's been alive and wondering, because at some point, right, human beings are on this huge planet, all these animals and plants around. And how did we get here? There's lots of theories. There's lots of ideas and theories and possibilities. There's infinite possibilities in that, in what were available or what was involved in bringing us into today. But when you step back and you look at things from a greater perspective using the power of your imagination, when you step back in the world in every moment, actually even within you and all around you, there are infinite variables at work in every moment. This life is a glorious, glorious experience of the transition and dynamic dance between energies and form. And it's kind of like a crazy dream. You're selfish because you're a self. Ego in proper order is a powerhouse. Here, Dr. D, here's where I think we're agreeing. The human mind, if left unattended, it becomes a cruel master, right? The playground for the devil, and then the mind and ego will destroy us, destroy our self-worth. It'll destroy our credibility because we'll be reactive and influenced by thoughts and ideas. But when you master you, when you overcome your fears and you get to know you, and you're not so reactive and you're not so easily deceived or misled, when you master you, holy cows, you're so special. You're so unique. From the eyes of God, I mean, I imagine God's love for you, For me, it's up to us to discover and to create. This is what I was trying to remember. Thank you. The mind is a wonderful tool, a horrible master. And those words from me are from experience. And mindfulness and meditation, I didn't understand those things for much of my life. And even when I first started looking into it, it confused me. It made no sense. But the more I started practicing mindfulness and meditation, I realized that's what Jesus and the Buddhas were teaching. They were teaching living at this mind of peace without fear, without resentment, without judgment, living life with the freedom to be. Become more aware of your thoughts, allowing one to respond thoughtfully instead of impulsively. Hard lesson, but it is self-control. And those are things I learned the hard way. I made a lot of mistakes in my path. That's kind of hey, thank you for speaking up. Jack, I love when you speak this way. It makes me feel special. That's my purpose. I'm pretty confident in that. That is my purpose in life. That's why I've learned what I've learned. That's why I've experienced what I've experienced, because I'm here to help encourage you, all of you, and remind you that's the key. The key is to remember who you are at the core. Who you are at the core. You're not a victim. You're not a perpetrator. You're glorious. You're unrealized, untapped potential. Maybe you're worn out. That's how you feel. But that's never true until it's true, until you're done. And I don't like just throwing people away. I like to be, each day is a new day. And I always hope we can find ways to be at peace in the moment. And we've got a guest who's been waiting patiently. I haven't checked the chats, but welcome back, Peace Robot. Are you there? Hey, actually, besides the what is this nonsense, I like the other comments. When you master you, you're unique, you're special. God loves it. I believe that. Are you there, Peace Robot?
Yes.
Any feelings or thoughts arising in the moment?
Nothing particular right at this moment. I'm sitting outside. I'm trying to keep warm, tending a fire. I'm getting ready for a church potluck tonight.
I haven't really got into the topic, but this is a perfect segue. The topic of finding a heart for learning. How do you feel you stand in that regard?
Not sure what the question is.
If you go to your heart, how open are you to learning? Or is your heart closed and bruised? It's already got the gates shut.
My heart? It seems to be functioning properly. I'm still walking around.
You can't imagine the concept of your heart, the heart being the emotional being of you in the present.
Yeah, I can conceive of that.
Okay. Do you understand what you want?
What do you mean?
Well, the heart is where we actually get answers for ourselves. The heart is that which reveals what is true, because the truth doesn't come from anyone, doesn't come from anything. It's a realization, a recognition, it's an acceptance. It's always inside. You got to background noise coming through.
Oh, it's windy out here. Sorry.
Can we? All right. Maybe I'll mute you up, and then when you want to jump in, just unmute yourself, please. Damn it! Now I lost where we were.
You were saying unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, before that. I was trying to get you. I was trying to point to the concept of your inner heart. You know, within each of us, there's it's an invisible, but there is a center to you. And it's an energetic center of your being. It's in the heart. The heart has a mind that it carries the eternal knowing. Now, I could be wrong on
get
this.
that. So,
what's that?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Okay. We're getting noise coming through again, though. Do you mind muting up when you're not talking?
Okay, I'll be talking. I mean, unless you don't want me to talk. I mean,
are you engaged here, or are you just using this as a distraction for yourself?
I'm totally engaged. The whole thing about the truth being internal and inner heart, inner center that's invisible and
Hey, you were paying attention.
Source of all knowing.
Yes.
I'm paying attention.
You are paying attention, I guess.
Yeah, my inner invisible center that I'm a slave to.
Well, the question was really.
No, I'm a slave. Wait, I'm a slave to the mind. I'm not a slave to the inner invisible center. Yeah, I was paying attention. I'm not taking notes, but if I had been, I would have noted those things.
I appreciate that. And thank you. You were paying attention. With the background noise, I wasn't sure, and I made some assumptions.
I have laser focus.
Well, the topic of finding a heart for learning. And I guess I asked the question poorly because I was trying to get a gauge on you. Where are you at? Are you interested in learning, or are you convinced you already know?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got distracted for a second. Am I interested? I am absolutely. I am so interested in learning. In fact, that I try to make sure that I learn something new every day. If I don't, I feel like I wasted my life that day.
That's a wonderful
goal. If I don't learn something new, I'm not satisfied. And I'll tell you, nothing makes me happier than learning something new. If it's something that is beyond, like if it's one of those eureka moments, it literally makes me laugh. When I learn something new, it fills me with such joy, and that's why I love it when I can find someone who can prove me wrong about something. Gives me a chance to learn something that I thought I was right about for so long, and show people, admit that I can admit when I made a mistake and learn. And what is better than being able to prove to people that you can admit your mistakes and learn? My greatest joy in life, but it's happened so rarely, so rare that people can correct me.
Peace Robot, thank you. You and I, we didn't get off on the best rhythm together. We had our...
Well, that's not your fault. You're a paranoiac.
Well, I am unique, and I might be that which you were just saying. Good for you in the fact that you've proven to yourself you're not often wrong. Congratulations.
Well, I know you guys have got your little culture here, and there's a little society, a little circle where you all know each other, but I don't know none of you. So I'm not part of that. I just heard things I wanted to respond to. Then it happened again. Then it happened again. Then it happened again. But I haven't. I think this is the longest he's allowed me to talk.
There's a perfect time for all things. And maybe this is an opportunity for me to practice a thought I've been considering. You know, and if you'll allow me, part of my frustration is I haven't
You want me
felt.
as your co-host? I accept.
No.
Oh, did I read that wrong? I'm sorry. Go
You
ahead.
did, but we'll
Go
get
ahead.
back.
I'm sorry.
Here.
I thought it was leading up to that, like that Rudy moment where everybody's going to lift me up on their shoulders.
Not yet.
Around the football field.
Not yet. But here,
Okay.
consider this, please, because I know I'm not alone. We all have these, especially if we're online. We're seeking to be understood, or we're seeking to understand more. I've been seeking to be understood, and I haven't been as well as I hoped. So then I wondered, maybe that is my downfall. Maybe I should use this opportunity to try and get to know you a little better. Are you
Well,
willing?
one of your downfalls might be that you unceremoniously booted me out of your forum after 10 seconds yesterday, so that you and someone else could make passive aggressive insults about me for an hour. Because you had no show, you had no content yet, you had nothing going, and so I guess you thought I was be an easy punching bag. Like, oh, here's this guy again. 10 seconds is way too long for him. He's out of here. Yeah, let's trash this son of a bitch. It wasn't as overt, but that's exactly what happened, and I didn't appreciate that. I thought it was kind of cowardly on your part. And I don't know I don't remember who you were talking to, but if he wants to come in here, I'll tell it to him too. I think it's pretty cowardly on the part of both of you to kick me out and then start talking a bunch of passive aggressive shit.
I'm sorry you chose to find offense and didn't find value in what we were saying. I appreciate that you're here again. So,
And I'm not offended. I didn't say I was offended, and I don't choose when I am offended. It's an involuntary response. I didn't get offended. I said it was cowardly. I said I feel it was a cowardly act on your part and on the part
Right.
of
You
your
found,
part.
tell you what, I'm sorry for the words mistake. You found judgment. You found problems. You found disappointment. You found whatever you found, right?
No, it wasn't a disappointment. I kind of just assume everyone's cowardly. But
chill out, please, just for a moment. God bless you and thank you. Look within. Much love to you. I appreciate this. It's giving me a little guilt, though, to be honest. I feel I need. No, you know what? Oh, you know what? That's my past.
Right.
Look within. Thank you.
I forgive you.
Value is, there is value here.
I forgive you.
So now that, are we done with the past? Are we through with the past disappointments and such? Can we move forward?
I can't speak for you. You'll have to address that.
Well, I was already offering an opportunity and an invitation. Can I get to know you a little better rather than just your hostilities and disappointments?
Well, I didn't bring it up. You brought it up. I was gonna pretend it didn't happen. Give you a fresh start. I'm glad I did. Paid off.
Do you notice your patterns of blame?
No, I don't.
You're in denial, dude. And that's actually what old Joe and I were talking about yesterday.
Blame or denial?
The two go together.
Well,
your arrogance shows that your mind is already made up. You're prideful and filled with this thoughts of yourself. You're a perfect demonstration for the absence of a heart of learning. See, the heart, think of this concept, brothers and sisters, and thank you, whatever your name was, for at least inspiring some ideas for conversation. The concept of the Holy Spirit, to me, it's the combination of wisdom and love, desire. It's the essence of the goodness of life, the goodness of being a human being. It brings joy and laughter, all the fruits of the spirit that's described in the Bible. I don't have my tab up anymore. Hey, I realize that. He's trolling. It's what people of this day enjoy doing. And it used to frustrate me a lot, but I'm getting beyond my frustrations and I'm learning how to roll, but excuse me, to be better than I was. I'm going to entertain the devil again for just a few moments. But before I do, Snafu, this is not the platform for you to defame all sorts of others. If you want to discuss with me what your agenda is, you're welcome to. And I'm not sure why I've got two of you in the back. Snafu?
Jack Talcott.
I've got the image up again because I never know what to do with you, but I trust you can be honest. You're not here to porn bomb or bring it down, right?
No, but we're actively striking as usual, but no porn bombs.
All right.
Go strike team, go. Sorry, I had to get that out,
You do know how frustrating you are, right?
Do you know the epic moment? Daisy and I now have interlaced our troll army together for the strike team. You brought that together, Jack. You may have stopped wars.
I'm grateful you just said that because you're reminding me of something else I wanted to talk about, building community. What if I'm going to put you in the back just for a couple minutes, all right? Blessings and thank you for your patience. Here. For if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. Whereas if you don't forgive men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive you yours. It's that simple and true. Trust it's true. Forgiveness is to be shared generously. And so this concept and idea of me came to my mind. Brothers and sisters, I love you. I really do. Especially if you're here with the live and you found your way here to this crazy adventure of the Jack Talcott story. The adventures considering, but here I was looking at my hopes compared to the results. Admittedly, I keep failing in my desires, right? I get an idea, I take these steps, take these actions. Nope, Jack, you're wrong. And not only are you wrong, you're wrong for even thinking you were right. I've offended a lot of people. There's been a lot of confusion that's emerged around me and behind me in the timeline, so to say. But my hope and my desire, I've shared publicly my testimony, my life story. That's what's being shared here. I share some thoughts and, updates, what's going on. Clock is ticking. My hope and my desire in the social realm, right? In my hometown, all of a sudden I was rejected. The more I started trying to align with God, the less people understood me. And it's all my fault, I understand, but I'm still trying to deal with it and figure it out. So I have in my mind this idea and theory that maybe God is using me, right? Revealing some messages in life that I really, really want to share with the world. Because what I observed is I found myself online hoping to connect with other like-minded people who believe that it's time for radical change, people who are aware of a lot of the problems and corruption. And I also wanted to be a voice to try and bring encouragement, right? Remind people, you got this, man. You got this. Don't give up. Sometimes you got to humble yourself. Sometimes you got to surrender, but you don't give up. Back to the point, Jack. So my hope online is truly to build a community, relationships and community. And that is what we have here. Those of you who have been here, been a part of this, um, you are the community that is with us, with me. And my hopes to find a community, to grow community, I keep finding chaos. Chaos keeps emerging. And yep, I'm to blame for the results. I am. I accept responsibility, but it doesn't change the facts. My purpose is to offer forth some fun, hang out, right? I actually feel like I'm a pretty fun guy. And so hanging out online is a convenient way to socialize. So I'm really hoping to share some fun together too with the community. And I keep finding chaos and disappointment. And so I'm like, Jack, what's up, dude? And I know you can't please everyone, you can't please them all the time. You got to roll. And so that's what I've been learning how to do, is to roll. But then the thought, it comes back to God often, because I try to imagine, what is God's thoughts? What is God's plan? And imagine if God had these crazy ideas to create the universe and all the forces that allow nature to be and to shine and to thrive. And some point in the development of Earth said, let's put some people here. And so God created this amazing, glorious version, kind of a reflection of itself, divinely breathed into life, is who we are, right? God's children, imagined and formed through time and space, right? We are. And so God created the earth and us as its children for the purposes of having fun together. God and us having fun together. God and us having a community together, the whole world as one global, one world community. I know, now I'm speaking like Klaus Schwab, the evil economic forum. I know the similarities. Snafu, thank you for your patience. But what if God is doing this with me, revealing messages, not just for me, but for the world? It could be true.
Bro, you just literally did an ad for the New World Order. You shrug your shoulders. So you're for the social credit score. You're for dictatorship. You're for destroying those who don't want to line up for your one world order ideals.
I know how you can get to that conclusion, but consider this. This is God's plans revealing. And God uses the beast in many of the stories of the Bible. It's the second one. The second one is where the spirit is emerged. And so
the second one, what?
The beast. I'm speaking it poorly. I think God uses the darkness to lead until it's time. And so
actually, the Bible specifically says he's not part of the darkness, but go ahead.
He uses it. He allows it to be for his purpose. And his purpose,
God is using darkness now? That's what you're trying to preach to these people? God is using darkness.
I'm just trying to communicate with you, Snafu. Let's talk about God.
I'm trying to understand your blasphemous thoughts to understand you better.
If you stop describing them as blasphemous and you just, let's talk, right?
Okay, so the Bible strictly says God is not part of the darkness, but you're sitting here telling me he's using it. Okay, and I could pull up multiple verses right this second if you make me. We could go over the doctrine and the scriptures, but I know you're not into it because you know I know it, and I'll pull it up. So I'm just trying to say, how do we get of what doctrine in the Bible says versus what Jack Talcott says? Go.
Find the similarities, truly, with what was left for us of Jesus. That's what the focus is. He is the king in my life. He's the example. He's the epitome of leadership, and he is the example for me and you and everyone else to follow. And it's the way it's near impossible if you don't have faith in God. And this is where God has graced me, truly allowed me to grow in my faith, to grow in my confidence in this. And God's been pretty gentle with me. So my hope is to be a voice like you, Snafu.
I get that. Do you understand your anger distracts from your mission?
I most certainly do. It's been my
You
downfall.
do understand that? Okay.
I do.
'Cause honestly, I gotta admit, you actually were accountable, saying, "Hey, it's my fault that started the stream on not the optics me and you talk about, but like what I didn't even expect." So I'm like, okay, maybe Jack is listening on certain optics. I no, like okay, you got me speechless right now. Like I'm just like, okay, all right.
Hey, Snafu, thank you for being open enough, right, to notice. We got another guest coming in. I anticipate. I don't anticipate problems. I actually think this is great.
Oh, well,
Welcome, look within. Good to see you, brother.
Hey, good to see you, Jack. Good to see you, Mr. Snaps.
Mr.
I'm just here to sit with you, man. You continue.
No, go ahead. Looks never crossed the path of the crew, so we know who Mr. Look is. We respect Mr. Look. Go ahead.
Glad to hear.
I'm good, brother. I'm just here to sit and support. Continue, please.
You know what, Jack? You didn't tell the people that me and Daisy tried to offer you something that would be brought in front of the audience, and you don't think there's any value to it. Maybe Mr. Look could. Maybe Mr. Look, as a as his opinion that's not yours or ours, could give us his opinion on what me and Daisy approached Jack with, and Jack denied it.
Please pause. Because don't diminish. Don't give a narrative in the absence of something, right? Because you're right. I admit I have not yet brought up my visit to Daisy's live stream earlier. And
Go, Daisy and the troll army. We could merge. All you gotta do is strike and report. Jack Talcott misinfo, OTW, being a coward, fucking harassment, bullying, flow state, being a pedophile supporter,
please,
so whatever.
Snafu, please.
Whatever you guys do, go strike and go.
Please,
Go ahead,
please. I'm telling you, just so you know, next time, if there is a next time where you start off naming names that aren't here.
Whoa. You protect these predators and these.
Yes, I'm protecting me and my reputation and yours, okay? Because this isn't the time to start bringing up a whole bunch of others and stuff.
I'm just going to yield. Go ahead, Jack. You should talk about why you refused to give Daisy what she asked for. I told Daisy the best way to ask Jack. Let me finish real quick. I told Daisy the best way is to ask Jack straight up. So that's why we invited you, and you kind of ran off. You denied her request and ran off. Angry caught. You just said you realize you get angry, and it's because I think Mr. Look in the audience would agree.
Pause, please.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I genuinely appreciate that. Okay, because I listened, and I want you to consider there's a different story than what you're sharing. What you said is true. Okay, so I don't want to argue about what you said. There's no denial there, but there is explanations. So Snafu gave me a call, said, hey, come and talk to Daisy and I. And what was offered to me was an opportunity to review the interview that Snafu and my accuser, one of my accusers, Chemo, had, and allow me the opportunity to publicly respond and communicate. And I appreciate that gesture. I do. But The reason I stepped out, Snafu, was because, as I said, I hadn't had my stream scheduled. I still had some things to take care of, and I had things to do. So I was limiting myself in the
Okay, no,
time.
that's fair. I thought you stepped out because you were trying to avoid what was asked upon Daisy. Like, and the only reason I said is because that way Jack could say what he thinks are bad things that Chemo said, vice versa, and then others could respond and say, "Well, this, you know," because we all witnessed the whole thing prior to the interview. You
Well,
claim off. We've never had a review with you do it, like a full review.
Right. And here's Snafu, I really don't want to sit through that nonsense again. I listened to it, got what I needed, and it needs no more of my attention. So as far as I'm concerned, now Snafu, what we did discuss, and I was curious where the conversation ended, because when I stepped down, I kind of turned it off. I had to get back to my stuff. And what we talked about is, help me face my accuser. Let's have a conversation where Chemo and I actually talk. And he's not even well, he is the accuser, but he's not the victim. My hope is to truly speak to the woman who's the alleged victim.
Fair. Okay, but since we're publicly talking about this, what is, in your opinion, why I didn't want you to come on and talk to Chemo, and Chemo left it up to me. He's like, if you want him, let him. If not, fuck him. Whatever you feel. And I, at that moment, why do you think I would show? I chose, and I'm telling the public, I chose to not let Jack talk to Chemo. It was given to me. And I'm going to ask Jack why he thinks I chose that, because then I could tell the public and everyone exactly why I feel there's certain optics Jack needs to do before he just gets into that. But go ahead, Jack.
I love that you asked this. I'm putting you in the back so I can answer. Why did Snafu deny me the opportunity to speak with Chemo? Because God allowed Snafu and Chemo and others into my life. I've been tested. I'm very aware of being tested, right? And all of us, whoa, what happened? All of us here are, we're being tested. And Snafu, he chose to punish me. He chose to enable unforgiveness. And I've been trying to point that out to him. He's been playing this role where I'm an enemy. But he could very easily use the connections that he brags about to be a hero. So why did Snafu choose unforgiveness? That's the question.
Okay, I'm going to continue, but I am going to say something to all the whistleblowers out there. The one who says I'm raping my kid, remember the Let's Be Real? We said it was Venus Cupcake and Randy Reeves. Notice Venus Cupcake's putting the universal symbol of pedophilia in your chat. But let's go ahead.
Please.
Hey, by the way, Mitchell, good to see you, Mitch.
Yes.
Long time no see.
Hey, what's up, Snap? Good to see you, folks. Jared, Patrick.
You as well,
Hello,
Mitchell.
Thanks, man.
Not to bring up sore things, but I heard you had a loss. You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there.
Good. I know you're strong, but
Wait,
that's
what was his loss?
Yeah.
Might as well tell everyone. Don't be all cryptic like that, Jack.
You know what?
The puppy dog.
He lost a family member, man.
I know he did. I just said Jack's being all cryptic. The dog was part of like Mitch's life.
Right. Part of
Right.
family.
We all
And
saw the
that's-
dog, so you don't have to be cryptic. I'm sure a
Well-
lot of people miss the damn dog with Mitch.
You know, here's the thing. We're so damn rough on each other. People can be so insensitive and cruel sometimes. So I'm just trying to be more aware. I've done a poor job of this in my past, actually, with people around me. I've done a poor job of paying attention to them and what's going on in their life to remember. I'm not the only one with problems or goals or stuff going on. All of us are.
Didn't you have a cat that was like dying up in your bedroom that you just let to die?
He
Did it
passed.
die?
Yeah,
Did it finally die?
he passed in October.
Did you flush it down the toilet, or what'd you do?
No, I was able to bury him in the backyard.
You're not the homeowners. You give me that smile. You give me that smile. Okay, never mind. We'll read it out.
I didn't violate any rules, not that I'm aware of.
Never mind.
But I don't know. Hey, life is tough. It can be tough and challenging, and the things we love the most, that can hurt the most.
So wait, you got two perfect people up here, Mitch and Mr. Look, that could be non-biased judges about what me and Daisy asked you if we get back to topic. Because the topic is me and Daisy asked you to review Chemo's interview because you claim that there's so many inconsistencies, and many people have questions about it, whether it's in the chat, the viewers.
Tell you what, let's not keep looping on that. I have no interest in reviewing the interview again.
Fair enough. You said yes. That's all I need to know.
I am very interested in having a conversation with Chemo. Okay. Now we've got another guest, and I've been debating how to do the panel a little better. You know, maybe start rotating people through like Zetetic Warrior does or something.
Oh my God, you're gonna mention Z.
Here, welcome, Brett. Welcome back, brother. How are you today?
Oh, I'm good. How's it going?
I'm feeling blessed, and I'm actually glad to see you because I don't remember the details, but I remember a recent visit you had. We had a missed opportunity. I allowed too much chaos, and you were actually trying to have a conversation about the topic. So I'm glad you're back, and I hope it's better this time. Okay.
Yeah, it is what it is. Frankly, I'm not too worried. So can I just ask a question? This Snafu character over here, does he consider himself a Christian?
Hey, why don't you ask me? I'm right here on panel as you quote. You
bald-headed,
Mr. Clean-looking cupcake.
Assume he did.
Let me educate this guy who I am. I could find out exactly who you are right this second. Run.
All right.
I wear my real name.
Who he is.
My name is Brett Boyle. I wear my name as my channel. It's Brett Boyle. Everybody knows I live in High River, Alberta. You're not exposing anything, Snafu. Everybody knows that my name is Brett Boyle and I live in High River, Alberta. Okay, so calm down, cupcake. Now, the reason I asked if this person was a Christian or not, because all I've seen them do all day is be hateful and negative and divisive, and there is no unity, no love, no understanding, no respect, no appreciation, no none of those things. So before he goes off calling other people blasphemous or fake Christians or whatever the heck he wants to say, maybe he should probably check a mirror. And it's unfortunate that it takes an atheist such as myself to point this out. So just saying.
Hey, Brett, thank you. It's true, but this is the world we live in. People have used their religions, their politics, they use whatever belief that's what they think of as an excuse. And I don't remember the exact words, but the greatest atrocities occur when people are convinced they're doing the right thing, right? World War II showed that with the Nazis. People are told to obey orders. They think they're doing the right thing, and the next thing there is evil. Snafu thinks he's doing the right thing. But how do you...
Yeah, and I caught him on Daisy's panel earlier, too. I was there watching. So I've seen what he said all throughout the whole day today. That's why it was like, he's sitting there calling blasphemy and like, acting like some Christian superior or something, and it's like, have you checked a mirror? like, dude.
Well,
Excuse me.
honestly, I think that's why he and I have met. uh, we're all mirrors of each other in different aspects. This is what I've learned. We're images and reflections of consciousness. Mind and heart is who we are. And I've met a lot of good-hearted people. And I'll stand for Snafu. I don't know what he's done in the past, but I trust his heart. He's got good intentions about what he believes in the world. And but confused minds, that's kind of in line with the thumbnail. The ego, the identity of us, who we think we are. Is that coming up? How
Says
interesting.
peace.
Yeah, it's not. Anyway, the thumbnail about ego. The ego is the temporary ignorance. It's who when we think we know who we are. That's the crazy part. Try this again. Actually, hey, Mitchell, did you get a chance to jump in? I can't even remember. You got anything going on?
No, I'm just hanging out, man.
Okay.
I don't have anything in particular I want to talk about.
All right. Beautiful. I appreciate it. That's
Yeah,
right.
thank you.
Thank you. Snafu has a tendency of trying to take over the conversations. And there's a reason our paths have crossed. Because in my life, I've been allowed to learn, study, right? The patterns of my mind and watching human behavior. There's a lot of hurt and confused people. Admittedly, people have asked, why do I host time with Snafu? Why do I even entertain this nonsense? God works in mysterious ways. And I know that my world is better with fewer enemies and more friends. I think Snafu could become an incredible ally if he learned self-control. And Brett, you're right. He's here exposing himself online, showing himself things he may not be proud of in the future.
Well, I don't know Snafu. I don't know you. I don't know Mitchell. I don't know you guys. So any kind of accusations that are made, I don't know. But if Mitchell, hello Mitchell, by the way, if this person, did experience the loss of a pet or a loved one or a family member or something, I just didn't find it very Christian-like that Snafu is like being a dick about it. Like, what's the purpose? Like, to what end and goal and means are you being a dickhead? Like, what's the end goal of that? And is it really very Christian-like? Like, again, I'm an atheist, so I don't have any religious skin in any game. But it seems that he wants to present himself as some kind of morally superior while acting morally inferior. Like, it's just very strange.
There's many who do that. Are you willing to go into what you said? I'm wondering, atheist by doubt or by conclusion?
I chose Christianity in my youth as a teen. I also chose to reject religion as a teen, and it's definitely by choice / conclusion. And it's, to me, it doesn't make sense to favor one religious belief over another. Like, why would I favor Christianity over Islam, over Judaism, over being a Buddhist or whatever? Like, there's so many different religious beliefs and out there that I'm not going to just mindlessly believe any of them. And if that's the case, then so be it. Like, I don't that said, I'm not a bigot. I don't care if people want to be a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew or a Buddhist or whatever. Don't care. As long as you're not hurting anyone or anything, don't care. Believe, think however the heck you want to. It's there's so much. I mean, is it not preached or written that like we should all be loving each other, fellow human beings, regardless if they don't believe in the same religion as us or have the same political affiliation as us? Like, so I
Yes,
don't
sir.
really care for a lot of the Muslim versus Christian and like all that crap that's going on and taking place. I don't find it helpful, and I find it really causing more of a degradation to our society than putting aside differences and being like we're like, it's literally a theological discussion, and it's a discussion that's been happening for centuries, millennia. Like, we're not solving it in the panelverse here, right? As to our origins, as far as Christians are like, I'm an atheist, but I don't believe in the Big Bang theory either, right? It's just a theory. Like, it's all anybody really has are theories and beliefs and narratives that could be applied. And I'm just willing to say that we don't know, right? We don't have concrete answers and the capability or capacity yet to know. So I'm fine with not knowing, and let's just find out together. Like,
Here, Brett, I love what you're saying, but I'd encourage you. The thought that came up is don't have so much faith in your doubts. Because I used to believe that God couldn't be known, couldn't be understood. And
I used to be a Christian.
I judged religions similar to what you described. And I kind of pushed them all away, and I didn't really look. But then I found myself in a different direction at a different time, and I looked into the different philosophies, and I was interested in the evolution of mankind. How did we get here? How did these different religions evolve? And I'll be honest, I identify myself as a Christian, and I encourage Christians to join me. It's time to raise the standards of what that means. But I have my doubts in the Bible. Now, does it exist? Yes, I don't deny the Bible exists. And where it came from, that's where I wonder how much of it is allegory and story, and how much of it is credible and real. I don't know. I have a lot of faith in the words of it, though. And what I've been learning, honestly, what I think about God or religion makes no difference to anything but me. And so I started leaning into the idea, okay, if there's a God, help me to know, help me to see. What do you want? I still don't know what God wants from me, but I imagine it's for me to be where I am and who I am, and to be the best version of me. And we're all the best versions of ourselves when we're having fun. When we're having fun and laughing and filled with gratitude, there's nothing to forgive because everything is perfect. And I think we're here to grow, to align with, and to grow the perfection of this experience together. So if you can have a little skepticism, and you're here, we're all here for reasons. The words, if we can get past the words and just accept possibilities, right? I really believe there's a lot of probabilities for my hope and dream, to be honest. The one where old Donald and I have some conversations together.
I can't stand Zion, Don.
I believe
Hate
it's
Trump.
time. If we get past our hate, if we believe that, I don't know. I think he's radical enough. He can understand me. And I believe, truly, I humble myself to this probability. This life we are living is God's. It's not ours. We're just experiencing these parts. So what we think and what we do, it influences, it determines individually what's going to happen. But if there's any way possible for us to bring an end to the wars and to bring immediate reforms, I think we should pursue it. That's what I'm suggesting we do.
I think a big part in contributing to and helping with that is make friends with the people that the establishment tells you to hate. Right? Like there's a lot of people that are being like guided and directed right now that identify as Christian that are being like guided and steered towards hating Muslims. Like just for an example, right? That's not by accident. So instead of giving into it and going along with it and getting wrapped up in like, you look back and it's not hard to tell how the Germans became Nazis, right? Like it can be very easy to shift, steer, guide, and direct a populace. Like we're seeing it every day in North America. So
Yes.
it probably would help a lot to like not have that division and hate. Like I see it every, and I'm not saying there's great examples, but lots of atheists give us atheists a bad name. Lots of other Christians give Christians bad names, right? So it is easy to fall into that trap of hate, but sorry, go ahead, Jack.
Brett, you said it. There's all the signs, and it's up to us individually and collectively to learn from the past. And I don't believe collectively we've learned from the past, because what you said, Brett, all the signs of people, fascism and tyranny, it's growing. All the signs are here in America. It's happening, right? We have absolute dysfunction and immorality in our society. Why? Because secrets and lies. It's that simple. Wealth and authority exist because secrets have been legal. When we're not telling lies to each other, when we're open and transparent with each other, there's no control. And that's the problem. As long as mankind, as long as we individually and collectively allow ourselves to be immoral, as long as we allow the neighbors to be immoral, right? We can't control the neighbors, but if we don't stand up and speak up when the neighbor's beating the wife or the kids or whatever, when we're not paying attention to what's happening, evil rises. And I believe, my faith is in God. There's a source of creation, and there is a creative source that's permeated throughout time, and we can live with that source and the natural order, which is the Tao, the way, and we can live that with faith like Jesus showed, faith in the higher power, faith in love. That's what I choose. I choose love to win in all of my battles, because love reveals the truth. And the truth is, Donald Trump and Elon Musk are evidence of problems in America, not solutions. I mean, they're doing things towards solutions, but they're doing it in selfish ways. How many of these federal employees are now, their families, they've been working, trying to make it, paying their bills. Most workers in America are at best one paycheck away from who knows, right? So we've got the government. The government is playing games with the people, not just in America, but around the world. And the fact is, America history will show that the American taxpayers enabled the war crimes in Palestine, in Israel, and in Ukraine.
It's so much bigger and longer than that, but
Right. It is.
I agree with a lot of what you say, but I do take a bit of issue with this thought, or I don't know, belief that, because I don't believe in your specific particular God or your specific particular religion, that somehow makes me some kind of bad person, or I don't have morals, or etc. Right? And I'm going to take off here, but I just wanted to maybe have some thoughts, Jack, towards the idea that you're not going to convert everybody into Christianity as a unifying factor, right? I like that you talk unity. I like that you talk about bringing people together. I like all that, but it's not going to fall under the umbrella of Christianity. That's not the way to unite people. You're actually going to lose and ostracize people by doing that, right? It's great, the unity aspect, but you can't expect to convert an atheist such as myself or a devout Muslim or whatever to unify as you're pushing sort of a Christian supremacy kind of influence or whatever. It's not going to work. There's going to be a break, right?
That's in your head, Brett.
Well, that's what I'm seeing.
I know. I appreciate
that's what I'm seeing.
Feedback. So. Right. Because you want to defend and protect the atheist belief. I understand that. I understand. And you're right. I don't disagree that the appearance could be that I'm promoting one religion over another, but I use the term Christian so that people get the fundamental idea of Christ and Jesus, but my religion is love. And if you can't accept a religion of love, well, that's on you. I mean,
I'm just saying you're not. I get all it's a bright, rainbow lollipops and unicorns idea, but not everybody believes in the same God as you. And if you want to unify with those people, you have to tone down the God aspect of it and dial that back, right? So Brett, that's all I'm saying.
Appreciate it. Thank you for joining, brother.
Cheers. And Snafu, get a life, dude. Cheers.
Good to meet you, Brett.
Thank you, Brett. He's not wrong. There's proper ways of communication, and I've been trying to. I have been studying communication, different practices that people have found helpful, and I try to incorporate those things. Telling you though, anything good I found from psychology and religion, it all comes back to what Jesus was recorded and allegedly said. It comes down to the truth, and we've got to find ways to agree with what is true. That's the key.
Can I add a little bit to that, Jack? Just
please do.
I understand he may not know the circles that you're in, but I mean, I don't think you're a radicalist or an overzealous Christian at all. I mean, you sit with Brother Muhammad quite often. Yeah. He's not a Christian at all, but he's also very open-minded.
Hey, thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate it. And yes, you're right. We don't know what people don't know. Welcome, greetings, El Perro. Good to see you, brother.
Greetings, Jack. I just dropped a verse in the back chat, Romans 2, verse 14. And this goes to Brett and the thing about expressing yourself through God as a means to express something greater. And this is to the concept that for when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are law unto themselves. And this goes to the equal consideration as it respects to those that may not believe in the same God, The religion is this polity unit for establishing the morals and ethics. So without the God, you can still have a moral and ethical foundation by your very nature.
Absolutely. Thank you. Now, what I think the benefit of the church and religion really can be is to help grow in our relationship. That's what we're supposed to learn, is to grow in our own individual relationship with perfection, grow in our own personal relationship with love, and most importantly, grow in our individual relationship with that which is. Because whatever is true is true. That's where my mind was at when I started looking into the different religions and philosophies. And I'm telling you, the last place I wanted to go was the Bible. And that's where all of the signs have brought me back to it. But it's not the way that many of the churches are teaching it. Because if the churches were teaching the true messages of Christ, we wouldn't have selfish rulers. We wouldn't have innocent people in prisons. We wouldn't have the demons of corporations and the taxation, siphoning out the workforce, the life force from people. The world is literally insane. And the truth will bring healing. God will bring healing. And it's true, the truth shall set us free. When the governments and corporations no longer have secrets, legal secrets, well, then the workers won't enable the lies. And when we don't have the world governments and corporations, media, when the world isn't so focused on navigating through lies, man, heaven will emerge because the kingdom is ours. So what if in the bigger picture, God allowed the devil and the fallen angels to fall, allowed mankind to descend intellectually and emotionally and spiritually into this dense state of society where we're at war with each other while other people are trying to eat, right? So what if God did, though, create us as children of God to be divine beings here in the infinite universe? If we unite, holy cows, if we unite within our past and our present, when we unite within our mind and our heart, we become whole. And when we become whole, we can find balance. This applies to us all. If we can unite with each other, overcoming the past, bringing the past and the present together, not ignoring them, not pretending it didn't happen, but just bringing the past and the present together and then unify together as beings here on earth. You do that in your relationships, that's healthy. That's how we're supposed to live. And guys, I don't know how it's going to happen. I could be wrong, but it's my belief that God is using me. I feel that God is with me on my path, regardless of the opinions and the reactions of others. And if that's true, that God is with me on my path, God is with you and all others. And if this is all true, then we're going to find a way to unite, to bring peace to the world and international reforms. It's a glorious story if it becomes true. And even if it doesn't become true, it's a glorious story of life that we get to be a part of. And I used to live a life where in some ways I was sheltered and in some ways I was very just ignorant. I didn't know. But the more I've learned in this life, God has allowed my mind to be blown, to be totally opened. And it's actually in line with what I shared in the description too. To overcome the limitations of your mind, you find a will for your heart to grow. The concept of your heart, the heart being your true, authentic, the inner child, allowing that to grow, to develop, to be a part of you, to be a whole you. The world in its dysfunction has created a lot of broken people. But you know what I find? God is with us all. That means we're not broken. It means there's a degree of perfection that's waiting to shine through. And we are perfect in our imperfections. When we pause and we get the sinful thoughts, the revenge, the battles, when we let that stuff go and you just be at peace in your heart with the breath that breathes you, that's evidence of God in my mind.
You know, Jack, if you don't mind me
Please.
jumping in here, I texted you something last night about leadership, and one of the most powerful things about leadership is the ability to know when to use restraint. And I'm going to put forth the thing about riding a bicycle. When you're a child and you want to learn how to ride a bike, you neither have restraint nor distraint. You go for it, right? But there are certain times in other aspects of life, many aspects of life, particularly in communications, where we've been indoctrinated into this system of restraint. Okay, we've been limited, and we need to break those bounds. And this is the ability to break those chains of distraint and restraint and testing those bounds. But in testing those bounds, we also find these little signals and warnings that we need to pay attention to so that we can use that ability to know when to use that distraint. So like I say about being an asshole, see, in the 12-step program, they think that's a character defect and that you need to get rid of it. And I tell people, no. It's one of those things that you have to learn how to balance out in your life. So when you come up with somebody that calls you an asshole, you can look them straight in the eye and tell them, listen, let's get the first thing straight here. I'm not the asshole. I am the whole fucking ass. So you have to know when to use that power and how it comes through you. That's it. I think that's the main problem. Again, that's that indoctrination system that's limited us by that restraint. If you learn what that freedom of speech is and the power, you learn your abilities to invoke it through that speech. And this is why I say sometimes, and you can quote me on this, a man's intellect is limited and biased by his vocabulary.
It is. And the stories we tell ourselves reveal and create ourselves. So, brother, when you said that story, I get the example, and there's a power to that, but you're not the ass. You never were. You're really just a real nice guy. And your vocabulary, your study, your knowing of words, it's admirable. It is strong. I'm grateful we have crossed paths. That is sincere. Because it comes back to the words. The words we say. God is so glorious in this world, this experience of life. I don't know how everything works. I just know that there is a perfect order to it. And the words we say create our reality. But children aren't taught these things. Children are taught to remember what they were told, to remember what they saw, not to understand. So this is actually what I want to get across. Objection, hearsay.
We're giving up that firsthand experience. We're coddling our children. When I was a kid, we rode in the back of pickup trucks, no seats or seat belts. You know, and
We were lucky to have survived, dude.
yeah, and we have to quit coddling. And again, like I said earlier, let the children push them bounds. That is the diversity that allows us our technology. That's why we came up with seatbelts.
Right?
We need to stop following so much into the comfort and convenience zone and keep pushing those bounds. These comforts and conveniences make weak motherfucking men.
Oh, please, please. That's partially true. There's no denying that. But seriously, the innovation of mankind. There's been advancements, especially in production and manufacturing, that have been far greater than social and environmental awareness. History shows people made a lot of stupid choices in the lead pipes in the buildings, in the lead paint, in the asbestos in all the walls. And then yeah, building a what 2,000, 3,000 pound vehicle that's traveling down the road at 70 miles an hour might be a good idea to have some passenger restraint systems in there just in case. I mean, it takes a while for people to figure things out. That's the glory of God. God allows us to keep figuring things out. And El Perro, you were raised tough, but don't deny don't deny the ooey gooey lovey side of you too, man.
Oh, absolutely not. But that's something that you have to maintain a certain deep-founded, intimate respect for.
Life. Oh, growing up, man. This life we're living, it is what we create it to be. And here's what I awoke to. I realized, despite my complaining and my regret, God's allowed me to do pretty good with myself from where I started. I mean, I was just a dumb, ignorant kid who grew up in the woods. City life, man, that was confusing to me. I didn't understand that shit. And I was still intimidated with big cities for I haven't spent a lot of time in them. Why did I start telling that? I was going to land it somewhere. I've been learning, especially over the past few years. Well, I'm telling you, my testimony is I have enough evidence that I could say that God is potentially using me as a messenger. I'm not claiming to be a prophet, not claiming to be anything special.
Well, wait a minute. I want to support this for you here, Jack, because that's one of the base foundations that I keep putting forth is Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. This is that first communication. He wrote the law of his word on your heart with the index finger of his right hand, the right hand of God, the righteousness. That's what belongs in your heart. Okay. Upon that, before I came as forth from the womb, I sanctified thee and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So you're supposed to minister the word of his gospel, both unto the nations and to all the creatures in the land and the water and the air. Okay. Now, this is the land shall not be sold forever, for it is mine, and ye are strangers and sojourners with me. So you're supposed to use those boots of the gospel to travel with him, to minister that gospel unto the nations. You're not supposed to sit there and harbor your one talent and put it away in a bank vault. You're supposed to share your talents. Okay? This is the land shall not be sold forever because you're strangers and sojourners with me, and I remind you of the footprints in the sand. And then the next verse says, in all the lands of your possession, ye shall grant a redemption. It's because it's in your nature, and you're supposed to bring the land to its nature, not to its commercial use. There is no cost to using the land.
that idea of cost. This is the there's been manipulation, in my opinion. There's been manipulation in many things, especially in God's will for us. The idea of sacrifice, yes, there is an exchange. There's a process of exchange in this reality that we deal with. Hey, JG, God is using me. It's another theory, and I hear people, I don't know if I hear others saying that or not, but this is what I realize. God uses us all. God uses the all. We're a part of the all.
Yeah, and he even uses, again, it says in the scripture that he uses even the smallest, the tiniest of creatures to teach us, the greatest of his creature, one of the simplest questions. That if he would take care of that smallest creature and they not want for anything, why would mankind want? It is because of their faithlessness in falling into this comfort and convenience that they want for more comfort and convenience. They like it too much. They don't push their bounds. They'd rather go the other way and get another deeper convenience that would comfort them more. My safe space, where I can sit on my couch and watch the boob tube, eating my processed foods and drinking the poisonous drinks while I'm watching somebody else's dramatic or comedic or adventurous or murderous, mysterious life on the boob tube. And all of a sudden I hear the sirens and I see the lights. And I go to the door and I look outside and they're arresting somebody just a couple blocks down the street. But what do? I go back to my plain comfort and convenience because I don't want nothing to do with that drama. I'd rather watch it on the TV or on the internet.
Well,
and the next night it's the same thing.
Here and now, sorry to interrupt the story, I get the visual. And what I'm suggesting is we're here to change it.
Yeah, and
that's
that's
what
why
God created us for.
Yeah, that's why I said we've got to change our normal attitudes and things we're doing.
Mm-hmm. And learn from what we've seen. Because what you're saying is right. Many people are distracted. I can't do anything, says 8 billion people, right? Here, let me recognize the contributions real quick, if I may. DeFreak, thank you. Lou Bass said you can stay at Louplex today on OTWs. Only problem is Lou is the other side of the Gooplex. DeFreak, thank you. Appreciated. Much love. Yeah, Lou said God is a fart, which I'm curious where he was going to land that, but maybe you can help him cut through the stench and find the real God. This is what I've come to realize. Mankind collectively, we have underestimated God's glory, God's perfection, and we've underestimated our purpose, our potential glory, our potential perfection. But the unrecognized, just because it's not recognized, doesn't mean it's not real, doesn't mean it's not true. And this is what I realized. Our God is the creator of infinite possibilities. So what I've been learning how to do since 2018, like the old adage, it says as you're going through sobriety, in AA, a day at a time. Well, yeah, I've been learning how to live a day at a time, and not just a day at a time, hour by hour, not just hour by hour, but moment by moment, one experience into another experience, and keeping my mind following the way of Jesus, keeping my mind seeking God and my heart open to be a vessel for love. It's my prayer that God is going to reveal miracles with me, if not miraculous, at least the unbelievable, because this is how I came to believe in the infinite possibilities. I was experiencing unbelievable things by my definitions and standards. I couldn't believe that My son wouldn't accept any conversations with me. I couldn't believe I got fired without a conversation, without a real day in court. But the unbelievable happens every single day. When we awaken each day, it's an opportunity. We're not done until we're done. Any thoughts?
Being uncomfortable won't kill you, but complacency will.
That is the truth. That is the truth. Complacency, apathy. This is something in line with the laws of physics as I understand them, inertia and such. The universe rewards effort, but it takes effort to get started. You got to push yourself past your excuses, past your whatever, your fears. You got to push yourself past that to get started towards a goal. But if it's a goal that your heart is raising up, that you can feel is worthy, create the momentum. The universe is there to support you.
A wise woman told me once, if you want to be miserable, you don't have to do anything. Just wait.
Wise statement.
It's absolutely true. Seek and ye shall find. This is what I started playing those words in my head and saying, okay, what am I seeking? Am I finding it? What I've been practicing, and I don't know if maybe it's just my mind playing games on me, but I feel that there's a truth to it. When I'm aware and I'm paying attention and I'm getting in my head, clock is ticking. What are you going to do, Jack? Blah, blah, blah. I recognize and I'm not comfortable. I'm anxious. I'm worried. I don't have an answer. And so I seek. God, please. I know comfort is available. I know peace is available. I know the answers are available. I seek to find those things. And I can feel often, I don't know of no times are coming up where it didn't work, but I can feel a sense of comfort, right? And that's all we need to get through is a sense of comfort and strength in the moment. So I encourage you, if you get into your mind, invite your higher spirit, the spirit that guides you and leads you. You don't always know it's there, but it's there. Invite it to join you. Because this is the idea of the eternal knowing, of the image for today. Ego, edging God out. The ego is the temporary ignorance, and we all are. We're all temporary. We're all ignorant to some degree. But within us all, there's an eternal spirit as well. I can't prove that, but I can imagine it. And the eternal knowing, that's what I've identified as an aspect of God. God is the knower, the unknown knower, knows all time, all possibilities. So the unknown knower is that which allows us to discover information. And when we follow the path of information and knowledge, we can experience the knowing for ourselves. And when we are confident in the truth, whatever you're doing, if you're confident in the truth, you'll be more efficient. I got distracted here. Melanie, you and Brett and a couple of others, I removed the mods because of feedback and controversy. And it's kind of in line with the topic, not to single anyone out, Melanie, but I really hope a community. That's what my heart longs for, is relationships and community, healthy type, right? The healthy type that cares and empowers, because that's what people are created to do. If the world was filled with people who were genuinely practicing the religion of love with one another, there'd be little to forgive. There'd be little anger. There'd be little hate. There sure wouldn't be wars. There sure wouldn't be profits for prisons or harmful chemicals being sold as, flavor additives. We wouldn't be poisoning each other or oppressing each other. But it's all going to happen. Life happens. The past happened, the present is happening, and our future will happen by God's grace and our willingness. What are we willing to do? And for what? I'm willing to risk it all, and I have, for the purposes of a better world. It started out, I was risking it all just for myself, and I imagined a better future for my son. So I thought it was just for them. And then I realized, well, even if my son's not there, if something's worth doing, it's worth doing. And I think trying to end wars and bring reforms is worthy of getting done. It's just a matter of how to do the impossible.
Bingo.
I think we can do the impossible when we believe the impossible can get done. But without faith, nothing gets done.
Bingo. But the important thing there is that two-letter word, that tiny two-letter word, we.
That's the powerful word, though. Because here's what I've learned, brother. Wherever I go, it is not just me, it is we. God is there. God is there with me for me to recognize wherever I go. So it is always we. And then when I extend we into what we also includes the aspect of God that I get to know everywhere that I go, it includes you. So I honor you. And that's my hope, is to follow that path, being kind and being generous to the next human being who comes into my path. If each of us just took that simple goal, dude, the better world would happen like that. It's up to us. What is the world willing to do? So far, the world has been willing to enable the royalty and behavior of people like Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all the other oligarchy. I think it's time for the workers, time for the people to unite. Because seriously, this is the simplest concept if you can think it through. If it starts in America, it's the perfect place to do it, and it could spread all around the world, uniting people beyond wealth and authority, uniting people for the common purpose of justice and true reforms. When secrets are no longer legal, wage slavery can be done. The banking debts and the monopoly game, we can rewrite the rules for ourselves. And I think that's the plan. I think this is where I'm saying, I think I'm a messenger, not a prophet or anything like that. I'm not making predictions, not anymore. I'll never say never. I believe this is God's plans for us, for mankind to unite, to create a world that honors Jesus, where we live a life to glorify his beingness and his creation. Whether real or not, the purpose of that was to glorify God. So we create a world that's worthy. How about that? Worthy of the return of the Messiah? Maybe that's what God's waiting for us to unite together to insist on the day of judgment, day of disclosure, Once the truth is revealed, it should never be denied. And we have enough evidence just on YouTube, man. There's so much evidence of criminal behavior in these governments and corporations. There's evidence of the war crimes that are happening that the U.S. diplomats have been enabling. I think it's up to us.
You are exactly right. You're right on what I was going to add into what you've been saying. And I know I don't want to discourage your goals at all of speaking with these people, but they are bought and paid for, and they are a construct of the system. If they were going to fix the world, they would have already. We don't need more of them. We need more of you. We need more of Mitch. We need more of El Perro. That's what we need. These people can change things. We don't need to look outside of ourselves. Very cliche of me to say, but to find the solution. We have the solution here.
We are the solution. The salvation that we've been praying for, when you look at the mirror to brush your teeth, that's you, right? We are here, not just, but it's easier. It's tough to save ourselves. We've got a lot of blind spots in our ignorance, in our minds, in our development. We don't know what we don't know. But if we can be the bright light to another, to help lead someone else from their path of destruction, that's what the church was supposed to be about, right? The idea of the messages, the gospel, the message was, hey, people, repent from your old ways, quit being immoral, quit being deceitful, quit taking advantage of each other. And I actually think Jesus was saying, hey, stop sacrificing the animals, stop murdering the beasts. But that's my theory. I'm an animal heart. I'm an animal lover. I think it's possible. What if we are the generation that was prophesized from the past, where we actually unite? And what if the return of Christ, it's another concept or allegory, that the return of Christ happens through us? Because there is war, there's famine, there's all this other stuff going on. And, I don't know there's things moving the pieces, and we're all just pieces of the story, of the puzzle, but it makes sense. Jesus was the one to lead us, not just the Jews or the Gentiles, but to lead the entire world from divisions. And I know his purpose was to start wars, and it happened. But if the body of Christ, the followers of Christ, would unite together as God's children, there would be no space nor time here on earth that evil could last, because we'd unite. There's so many children suffering beyond, not just beyond the borders. This world we live in has created a lot of injured people, mentally, emotionally. We've got soldiers coming back. I don't know what they may have or not have seen, but I know that there's people carrying around moral injuries. But I trust we have all the answers right now, today, because of the technology and the advancements, the way that communication and education and knowledge has been shared. We have the opportunity and the solutions right now. We can become the generation here on earth that brings the healing, where we interrupt the past patterns of war, of conflict, of addiction. Holy cows, praise God. That's exactly what the world is waiting for. People are addicted to the past. They're addicted to their battles. They're addicted to all sorts of things. And our freedom comes through ourselves. We remember our freedom, We can help each other become free from the addictions of the past and the battles. We are the solution. Salty Carl, blessings to you. Thank you for the contribution. It's wonderful. I appreciate it. You guys have been patient. Any thoughts, feelings coming up?
Well, like I was talking about earlier, pushing those bounds and stuff. Jesus was one of those guys that pushed those bounds of nationality and trying to bring every people of all nationalities to God. Okay. Then we have this Diogenes guy. He played the same kind of role. And then we have many other people throughout history, and you're just one of those same kind of guys, just like me. Again, it's that state and national identification shit that we're trying to shed and stand up for the righteousness of the people. We're all the same. We're all supposed to be in this fight, and it's not the kind of fight you think it is. It is a fight of principalities and spirituality. You have to have that foundational nature in you and recognize that in others.
Yes. People are used as instruments for the darkness, but at the same time, as Jesus said, even in the lowest of us, there Christ is. So this life we're living, things are not as they seem, and things are certainly not as promoted and advertised on television or in the media. I'm reluctant, but I'm bringing you up, taking a chance, JG. Welcome.
It's cool if I trespass here.
J to the G.
With permission, there's no trespassing, and you're welcome to be. You're welcome to be here. Just be respectful. You love to instigate. You got patterns, dude. You love to instigate, and I know you own that too. We are blessed. It's easy to forget that. Oh, the topic, finding a heart for learning. Truly, the scripture reinforces these ideas in many different ways, but the idea that you must have the mind of a child to discover the kingdom of heaven. Think about how a child is, right? A healthy child, a child that's curious and feels safe. They're learning. They're constantly learning, seeking to know. Be like that. Be a child within, seeking to know, because you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what the future will bring. And if you're angry or worked up today about a future that might or might not happen, you're probably doing yourself a disservice. That's what I used to do and what I found in myself. There was another part to that. Lost where I was. I'm feeling maybe it's time to start wrapping up. What are you guys feeling? Any thoughts?
Me too, Jack. So I'm going to take the opportunity to go and get a nap. You know me, I'm just an angry old man, and I need a break. This has been an exhausting stream. Be blessed.
Be blessed, brother. You broke up a little bit there, but I think I got it. It's strenuous sometimes just to be. Man, it is. Human beings, we can literally destroy ourselves, wear ourselves out through mind, through emotions. But at the same time, I practice being at peace, the idea of meditation and focus. I practice that throughout my day. I sleep amazing, and I don't feel as though I need as much sleep. It's like a wonderful way to be at peace. I'm going to start wrapping up. What are you guys' thoughts?
Nothing, sir. I just came up here to support you. Thank you for having me up. Have a great day. Good to see y'all.
Appreciate
Much love,
you.
man.
Thank you. Respect. Thank you for joining. Dr. Innerbuns, JG, I love you, brother. I'm going to bounce you out. Appreciate you. Mitchell, we got Brett here too. You want to offer some words or bring him up on the way?
Yeah, I'm down for whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think we do have the answers. Just we got to put in the work, So that's where we got to get out of our comfort zone, get to work. But you're doing the good work out there, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for having me up.
Much love. Thank you, Mitchell. Appreciate you too. Brett,
Good to meet you there,
thoughts
Mitchell.
from you?
I just wanted to actually bring to your attention that I made a bunch of community posts. There were pictures of your channel. It was not a knock against you at all. So just in case there's any kind of ideas for strikes or anything, Truth or Cop, it was to expose and show that Truth or Cop and Daisy have been like abusing the heck out of their wrenches. So it was not a knock against you at all in any way, but I felt Truth or Cop was like, I don't believe you if you don't post them, Brett. So I was like, all right, if you want me to post all the screenshots of you abusing your wrench, consider it done. So,
Hey, Brett,
I felt it had to be shown. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. So
I appreciate the heads up. Nope.
Yeah,
I appreciate the heads up and communication. I did take your wrench just because of the drama that came up yesterday, and you seemed to not care. So I didn't think it was a big
I never
deal.
asked for it. I
know you didn't.
I don't give
I
a
know.
crap. But I did find it very useful to be able to document Truth or Cops and Daisy's wrench abuse. So it was handy while it lasted. So whatever. But anyways, yeah. Just I guess something to keep in mind going forward is that we're not all going to unite under your God or your Jesus or whatever. So we got to remember to love our fellow human beings, regardless of whatever their beliefs may or may not be. So that's just something I would offer them. But thanks for having me up, and I hope you have a good day, and we'll chat at you later.
Thank you, Brett. Appreciate you clearing the air and making sure I had a heads up. Could be offense, whatever. So you hit it off. That's respectful. Now, again, this idea of my God. I know the word God brings up a lot of ideas to people. So does money, so does capitalism, so does everything. Words bring up ideas to people. But when I say God, I'm really just pointing at that which is. That which is. Accept that which is real. Because that's the whole idea, is with a pure mind, with an open heart, then you be present. And when you're present, you are one with the moment. You're one with others in the moment. You're one with the experience. So thank you for sharing your experience with me as I share my experience with you. And when we join experiences sharing together without the distractions, right? Without the past, without the future, where the mind and the heart are present with one another, practice this in your relationships too. Connect with who you're present with, because life is happening right now. And if you allow people to surprise you, they'll surprise you. If you allow miracles to be found, you'll discover them. If you want to find problems, you want to find anger, you want to find disappointment, it'll be. I mean, this is what I said about me too. My hope, blessings to you, blessings to all of you who see, who feel, and who are with me. There are many of you. I know I'm not alone. And I know my past patterns. It's been pointed out to me. Jack, you got a habit of going to the negative instead of really recognizing the goodness and the support that's right there. I know I do. Maybe you've got that habit too. Do you look for the problems more than the solution? Do you look for the bad, the reason to complain more than the opportunities to get things changed? I've done that. But the point is things are not always as they seem. I recognize that, and it is my dream, and perhaps it's God's dream for mankind to be one community so that God can have fun interacting in our lives. This is my dream here and now. If you haven't subscribed yet, please participate in the dream. Do the subscribe, invite others back, and we'll see what happens in the future. But my hope is to grow in this community here. I hope to offer some fun and that people share in the fun and receive the fun, because what I've noticed is chaos, and what I've noticed is disappointment, and that's not very fun. Although, if you can find fun in chaos, brothers and sisters, you find a big key in life. I'm going to wrap it up there. Sincerely to all of you who are a part of me, thank you. And till next time, we'll see what the future brings. Feel my hope, feel my joy, and remember, there's always peace. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, live without fear. God bless.